The instant Justin Bieber took center stage at the Grammy Awards wearing nothing except plain white underwear, the audience's collective gasp nearly threatened to drown out the first chords of the music, creating a moment destined to linger in music history for years. The 2026 Grammy Awards marked the occasion, not just because Bieber performed, but because he turned all expectations upside down. Those who missed the spectacle immediately wondered, was this mere publicity, some rebellious act, or something much larger about vulnerability and celebrity? It all started during a uniquely tense night at the Los Angeles Convention Center. The atmosphere hummed with anticipation, fueled by weeks of rumors and rising speculation, especially about a secret Bieber set. Whispers and hints whirled through social media communities, but nobody really guessed what Bieber, now 31, had planned. As the lights dimmed and the room waited for the evening's main act, the entire crowd sensed the weight of anticipation. The moment belonged to him. The first notes of his latest single rang through the venue, expectation peaking. With the sudden glare of the spotlight, Bieber appeared, not in dazzling attire but bare-chested, clad only in simple white boxer briefs. The mood shifted at once, and all eyes locked on him. No flashy special effects, no background dancers, no extravagant apparel, just Bieber, his microphone, and a nakedness that wasn't only physical but emotional, pulling every eye at the show and watching it home deeper into the moment. The internet immediately caught fire. Instantly, headlines and posts asked, did Justin Bieber really show up to the Grammys in his underwear? The memes and hot takes started pouring in, surfacing across every timeline. But as he began his song, initial shock evolved into stunned admiration. The stripped-down performance of Unfiltered showcased a vulnerability in his singing that many fans had never experienced from him before. People started theorizing, questioning whether his appearance was a meticulously planned PR move or an open statement about his life as a star. Subscribe for more unbelievable music moments. Some called out the wardrobe, or lack thereof, noting that the Grammys usually features endless parades of high-end fashion, with celebrities competing for attention through their red carpet looks. In stark contrast, Bieber discarded all of that, making a point with his sheer simplicity, reminding watchers that music, at its core, doesn't need extravagance. Others saw a deeper message. Interviews before the event had Bieber alluding to the exhaustion and exposure he felt under constant public scrutiny. Taking the stage almost nude, then, became more than just shock value or spectacle. Within minutes, his choice was the top headline everywhere. News outlets, influencers, and critics instantly dissected the moment. Some compared it to legendary stunts, claiming it rivaled Bowie's Ziggy Stardust era. Of course, detractors called it shallow attention-seeking. However, many fellow artists responded positively, visibly moved by the rawness of the moment. Some, like Taylor Swift, were seen in the wings of the stage, dabbing away tears during Bieber's closing notes. As Bieber departed, rousing applause filled the hall, and even the most seasoned industry figures admitted the performance had set a new bar for unforgettable live television. And if you're amazed by unexpected Grammy performances, hit subscribe so you don't miss out. Musically, his set was a departure from his earlier work. With only a piano and subtle lighting, Bieber put his vocals front and center. Gone were the heavily choreographed dances and elaborate production. He sung candidly, shifting between falsetto and full-throated passion, expressing emotions of heartbreak, honesty, and connection amidst chaos, themes that seemed even more poignant given his presentation. And throughout, it felt as if each lyric drew from his deepest self. The show's aftermath produced endless debate about what the moment actually meant, but Bieber's musical display that night was, by most accounts, among his most compelling. There was talk among critics that Bieber's action might signal a new era for awards shows, possibly influencing others to reject glossy spectacle in favor of something more personal and true. Already, some predicted a return to basics and authenticity would sweep through future red carpet events. Either way, people agreed. Bieber's unexpected act had changed the conversation surrounding both his own image and the music world at large. The image of him standing alone, bearing his soul under glaring lights, would be referenced in retrospectives, documentaries, and culture roundups for years to come. Backstage, Bieber faced a storm of questions from the press. Speaking with a candor rarely seen, he said his appearance wasn't about underwear at all, but about confronting himself, offering, "I've struggled with how much of myself to reveal, what's genuine and what's just for cameras. I just wanted to show the world that under everything, we're all human. It doesn't mean I'm unafraid or flawless. On the contrary, it's about allowing myself to be scared and doing it anyway." Tonight was about confronting that fear. If it sparks conversation, I'm glad. But more than anything, I hope it encourages others to feel a little less alone. His words struck a chord, with an onslaught of fans posting support online, describing how his actions made them feel understood and empowered. In the hours and days that followed, the moment only continued to gain traction, making headlines, lighting up discussion panels, and filling feeds with debate. No one could argue that it was a forgettable performance, whether from those who praised its boldness or others who labeled it a plea for attention. Bieber's Grammy night would become the focal point of pop culture debates for months, if not years. Not just because of the shock, but due to how honestly he'd sung about vulnerability, set against his bold choice of minimalist attire. Social media, meanwhile, erupted with countless memes and hot takes, some funny, some thoughtful, and all collaborating in making the moment go viral. Some saw echoes of iconic acts of reinvention in pop music history. There were even rumors, quickly denied, that organizers tried to veto Bieber's decision. But by the closing moments of the show, what was clear was that Bieber, clad in just his modest boxer briefs and nothing else, had pulled off something unique and unforgettable. Other recording artists present seemed galvanized, many openly praising him afterward on their own channels. And behind closed doors, industry insiders speculated that it marked a turning point for live music shows. As for Bieber himself, after the performance, he shared a photo and message to his Instagram followers, stating simply, "Tonight, I wanted to be real. Thanks for listening." Fans responded with encouragement, telling stories of their own fear and relief at witnessing such openness from one of music's biggest stars. If you like inside stories from the world of music, don't forget to subscribe. As dawn broke the next day, photos of Bieber's Grammys moment topped trending lists around the world, sparking think pieces, reaction videos, and newly forged debates about the role of vulnerability in public life. Some hailed the performance as a sign of a more honest, less filtered era to come. Others worried such antics would force artists to greater extremes. But in the end, those in attendance agreed on one thing. It was impossible to look away, and even harder to forget. The moments that spark the sharpest criticisms are often those destined to become cultural touchstones. After all, some viewers will see only spectacle, while others will see bravery. By evening, critics continued picking apart every aspect of the night: the message, the music, even the psychology beneath the surface. Friends and fans posted tributes, rallying behind Bieber's exploration of authenticity. Meanwhile, speculation continued. Will others now feel encouraged to bring more openness to their music? Would award shows now change, shifting from elaborate displays to intimate, pared-down performances? Everyone seemed to want answers, or at least wanted to talk about what they'd witnessed. Yet the question remained, what made it stick so powerfully in the public mind? Maybe it was the stark shift from what the world expects. Maybe it was the timbre in his singing, or maybe it was just the rare courage to discard every usual crutch that made it such a magnet for attention. However you look at it, Bieber's night at the 2026 Grammys would not only make headlines, it would influence behind-the-scenes conversations and become a reference for new generations of artists eager to make their mark. By daring to appear so unguarded, Bieber had sparked a conversation about what it means to truly show up as yourself, even in the biggest public spotlight. And if you want more raw music stories, hit the subscribe button. It didn't matter where you stood, fan, critic, or performer. Everyone had an opinion, but no one could deny the impact his performance made on the stage, on those in the room, and on those following from afar. The image of Bieber alone on the Grammy stage, stripped of artifice and full of feeling, would stand as one of the most unforgettable moments in 21st century music.